Hello everyone, my name is Tucker, and welcome back to our Russian Fishing for Spin Fishing character. If you remember at the end of last episode, we did get up to level 11 and did get a free rod and reel and took the reel over to the workshop to kind of be returned to its normal state. They actually gave us an undersized friction brake on it. So that's still being worked on. When I started heading down this way, there was about 22 in-game hours on it. So not too bad. It'll be done at the end of the episode here. And then took a quick look at the cafe, and there is a order for two 20-gram rough. So I did buy a small size 20 hook, or I think it actually is qualified as a tiny hook in game here. So this was another 3 silver. We'll use that here in a little bit to try and get some rough when it gets nighttime. If you watch my float fishing series, we've gone rough fishing a lot of times there. So I think I may do that just to get some quick silver. And then just to make sure I say it, I've started to see a couple messages, which is great. Both comments on on YouTube and messages in game. Love it. Keep those up. Just to say it though, I do not want items sent to me on this account or my float fishing account. The goal of this is to be a completely free to play character, free to play series. So I do not want to receive items. If I do receive them, I will probably never use them. I will probably never even take them out of my inbox. So just to say it out loud, please don't send me any items. Haven't seen it happen yet. Don't really want to see it. So we're back here, similar spot as we were at last episode, and want to see what we can get as far as chub and asp and things like that go. I did grab my free food before coming down here. I think probably my next goal is to get the equipment to brew tea, which will allow us to eat and get our comfort up, especially as we get to level 20 and or level 12. And I think that needs about 35 silver. So probably the proceeds from today will go to that. If you watch my float fishing series, you've seen me already do that as well. So starting it off pretty decent with a 1.2 kilogram chub on spin fishing. I seriously doubt we will hit level 12 today. Not going to say it won't happen. We need a couple of big fish for it to happen, which is always possible. But especially starting late in the afternoon, not going to promise anything. We'll see how things go and go from there. But when it gets nighttime, so about 8 p.m. or 2000, I'll switch over to rough on the bottom rod and keep spin fishing here with this rod. Another pretty decent fish here. I think it's a pike. Yep. Just short of a kilogram on that pike. But 2 for 2 on spin fishing. And I just realized I haven't even changed my retrieval speed like I usually do. 3 for 3 on spin fishing. This one's small though. I doubt it's a marker. Unless it's a mussel. Tiny, tiny chub. I almost threw that one back. It is early afternoon my time on October 17th, 2020, just out of full transparency there. So I do pretty much record these episodes the day before they are released, trying to do that as much as possible just to stay current. Four for four on our spin casts. 5 for 5. Getting a lot of small fish today, though. Which aren't worth much silver and aren't worth a whole lot of experience points either, but fish are fish. There's the first time nothing on spin. I'm trying to decide if there's actually something on the bottom rod or not. I'm going to tighten it up and see. Yep. Nope. And then I pick the rod up when I don't mean to. And I'm caught on something. Not an actual snag. So I'm slowly increasing. There we go. I had to increase my drag enough to get over whatever that was. I think that's actually, I'm going to just reset this. I think that's actually where we got true snagged last episode on the spin cast, where we had a fish on, and as it was coming backwards, it got snagged and we lost the fish. So there's definitely something under the water there that we just can't see. Just like in real life. Hello, big fish. This one's going to make me happy if we're able to pull it in. That looked like a pretty good one there when it jumped up. I was trying to get zoomed in to see it. And there might be something on the bottom rod too. Bottom rod's definitely moved. Yep, there's something on the bottom rod as well. But again, my goal is spin fishing, and I'm going to focus and keep on spin fishing. And when we pull this fish in that's on this rod, we'll switch over to the feeder rod. I'm not currently reeling while the fish was running there. Just letting the rod and the friction brake do its thing to tear the fish, to not tear the fish out, tire the fish out. Looks like the bottom rod's got a pretty decent fish on too. Didn't get quite as far out of the water that time as it has been, so I think it is getting tired. And we're definitely making progress on it as well. Just saw the bottom rod fish jump out of the water there too. This is a good asp. Might be a chub. I think it's an asp though. 3.8 kilo chub on the free starter rod. That's awesome. Wish it was a little bit bigger, but I'll take it. Keep in mind this reel here is stronger than the other one. So while this fish was still pretty small, comparatively, it is a bigger, more powerful reel. So it's a 3.8 kilo reel. So, like I said, I do want to see if we can't get some rough down here. So I'm going to switch to that size 20 hook and worm, and we'll go to a 6-meter clip and throw that out there. We only need 2 of them, and pretty much any 2 will do. Is 20 kilogram or 20 gram, 20 kilogram. 20 kilogram rough would be a huge rough. 20 gram rough is all we really need. 2 of them, so should be pretty easy. It's also nighttime, so let's switch over to our nighttime Aquila, and we'll see what we can get. Got really lucky yesterday when I got that free rod and randomly muted myself. I went back and watched the video, and I only muted myself for about 10-15 seconds. So don't even remember hitting the mouse button to do so. For me, I've got left click is normal in game, reel in, right click is the normal lift the rod up, and then forward on my mouse is put the rod down, back on the mouse is put the rod into my backpack, and then for me with recording, my middle mouse button is a mute button, and evidently I hit that in my surprise. And if you do want to go remap things, you can just go into escape control, and easy to remap anything you want to. I honestly don't know if this is going to be the best place for rough. Usually when I'm fishing rough, I'll go right here into that 2-meter hole in the pond over there, but we'll see what we can do. If we catch some rough, great. If we don't, that's fine as well. I am a little curious how wore out. So we're up to 3.2% on our reel, and it is pretty even on mechanism and friction brake. Grease is kind of getting worn out too. But again, this is the spinner rod that you start the game with. I've spent 0 in-game dollars other than buying lures for it. And actually, the one I'm using right now was one of the ones that we got free, although I bought one as well too, so I actually have 2 copies of this one. I probably should have switched the quiver tip on the bottom rod to the weaker version of it, since we are going after small fish. That would help it be a little more sensitive. But I'm not going to pull it out just to swap that. Ooh, Xander. Not bad. It's a small Xander, but was also worth a decent amount of experience because we haven't caught a bunch of them. Didn't mute my work email before I started fishing here. Fishing on my lunch break, which is always a good thing. And I'm getting text messages as well. That's not a good sign. Not an important one. Good old, you got a package coming in 4 days, which will probably be here tomorrow, actually. I did see they are going to do a competition here at Winding. I think this weekend. Not something I'm probably going to be going after, but I saw it actually on the Steam announcements for Russian fishing for October 23rd, 9 a.m. Eastern. And it's very specific fish: white bream, dace, and something else, and I forgot what the other one was. Little small perch. What was the other one? That's going to bug me. Donit's rough. So, all three pretty rare species. Pretty decent rewards, but if you are interested in that, feel free to sign up. Not something I'm going to be looking to do. And it didn't look like there was a level restriction, so any levels could join. Again, nighttime's not the best time to be spin fishing, so the fact that it's a little bit slow here is not surprising. Looking around and seeing if I want to cast at something different. I do want to stay somewhat close to the bottom rod, but I don't need to be standing right on top of it like I am. Let's go over here and cast at those weeds. You look in chat also, it slowed down. There was a bunch of chub and things like that being caught. And now it's all roach or kind of bottom fishing. Usually for me, night fishing is pike fishing. So I'm gonna see what I can, if I can rustle up some pike. And just try some other lures at the same time. Not looking too good to get our rough, but 7 a.m. is usually my best time for rough. Reasonable fish. Smallish chub. Another nibble. I was about to say another fish, and then I pulled the lure out of its mouth. Another reasonable fish here. Might even be a good fish. I think it's just about a kilogram. Looks like another chub. Yep. And right at a kilogram. So 400 experience points. We're up to 20.7 on spin fishing. What's the next thing we unlock on spin fishing? So we did get fishing with a spoon. Jigging comes at 25, so we've got a ways to go. And then casting rod, which those are usually expensive. Wobblers at 35. So, okay. I do have a point. Is there anything I would want to put a point into? Other than spin fishing stuff? Not really. So let's go ahead and put it into using a spinning reel. Get a little bit of extra casting distance. And yes, I just realized I had a point when I opened up the skill point screen there to look. I had no idea. Probably didn't spend it when we got our up to 11 because I was so surprised about getting the free rod. Nice. Bream just got pulled out, at least for winding. I do keep an eye. It is nice to keep an eye on what other people are catching in your area. You can, if you have premium, you can actually create a channel. There are a bunch of them out there that some folks have. And then you can talk across lakes and only see what those people catch. Think of it like a guild in a lot of other games. Um, Haven't done that yet. Don't want to really buy premium on these accounts and don't have premium on any of my other accounts currently. So premium is the subscription model. You get bonus experience, bonus skill ups, things like that. One real life hour a day, you get double experience. So kind of nice to have, but it is not a requirement. Yes, you can grind up and reach 100% in everything and level 50 or 55 or whatever folks are getting up to. Heard the bell switch told me there was something on it. It is not a rough. Let's come over here and cast right here. Helps if I press the right button. Starting to see the rough pick up in chat. And there's the rough we're looking for. So only need one more of those. Then I can switch this back to bigger hooks, but looking for bigger fish. And all right, get nice fish to level up there for Stephen Harris on a freshwater crayfish. Pretty good sized one too. Come on, I'm close enough, game. Looks like a perch. It is a perch. Still think we have time to catch the other rough we need. Let's go ahead and put the spiker on here. Got an idea for the next episode when we have the two spinning rods. It may be dumb, but might be fun as well too. So stay tuned to that for that, and we'll see you tomorrow on that. That might be our other rough. That is our other rough. Nice. I will take that. So that gets our 2 rough. I think that was 20 silver if I remember correctly. So going back to our big hook, our size 1 with grasshopper. And I want to go up to a 15, 18 clip here. About halfway through the day here, 17 fish so far. Not bad. This one's a small one. It'll perch. There was a perch order as well, too. I think it was bigger perch, though, if I remember correctly. Slowed my retrieval speed down just a little bit to see if anything changes. Just thinking back to when we started the episode, I caught a couple of really good fish before I increased my retrieval speed. I don't think it's going to matter much, but we'll see. It's also getting to be peak time for fishing, too. Another small fish. Reasonable fish here. I was going to say that looked like an asp. Small one, but we'll take it. About a third of the way up to level 12. My guess is we'll end up somewhere around halfway to level 12 at the end of today. But that's just a guess. I haven't looked at weeklies recently, so I wanted to do just a quick check. Asp have been biting mainly on balsam minnows and wobblers, which we are not able to use yet. And then chub, been on a bunch of the different hunters. And the Kilo 008, that's interesting. There's a fish on the bottom rod. Marker chub. I want to go look and see what Xander have been biting on. I thought I had heard the jingly jingly of the rods. So as far as overall, they've been on things we can't use yet. Weekly, the Xander have been biting on mainly over at Archie or Ladoga. Mainly on wobblers. Okay. Anything different in United States region? Not really. Wrong rod. Ooh, decent fish. Get a little scared there with how high my friction brake was. That's why I like to turn my friction brake down to 20. Is when the fish hits, it usually hits hard. And got us a little closer than I wanted to being fully maxed out. That's a good fish. Got a classic spinning rank up. Not really sure. Oh, we caught a fish using 7 different lures, so I'd switched lures to something I hadn't used before and caught a reasonable sized chub on it. So another 600 experience points. And the qualifications you can go look at under challenges. So our next ones are catch a fish weighing at least 5 grams using a spinner and catch 7 types of fish using a wobbler. We haven't even unlocked wobblers yet, so that'll be a while. I'm just watching the line on the bottom rod to see if there's something actually on or if it's just nibbling. Don't think it's actually on yet. And of course, now it is right as I cast. It's a reasonable one, but not a huge fish. Another reasonable but not huge fish on the spin rod, too. At least it's a marker. Thought it was bigger than that, though. Forgot to open my drink before we started there, so that's why I let off the reel for a second there. Could feel my voice getting a little rumbly. The weather's hopefully going to start killing off some of the stuff that's been bothering my allergies. We were actually in the 30s this morning here. So I actually haven't turned my furnace on yet. I'm sitting at home in a hoodie. Caught that one decent chub on this, and then not a whole lot else. Sit the drink down. Was holding the drink in my left hand. Couldn't try and do a speed up or anything like that. Ooh, last minute decent fish. Just shy of a kilogram. I don't know if I've used this one. So 25 fish. We've been fishing for about 40 minutes in real life. So a little bit on the slow side, but we've caught some pretty decent fish at the same time. Bottom rod has been very slow, but especially using size 1 hooks. I definitely did not expect it to be a very fast tons of bites, and that's really what I was looking for from that. But decent number of markers. And I've been experimenting a little bit with lures just to see if I find something that works differently than everything else has been. Small fish. Non-marker perch. Decent late fish here. Decent asp at the last minute for 600 experience points. Not sure if we'll get to halfway to 12 today. It's possible, but I think we'll still be short. Although one big fish, one trophy would probably change that outlook. Hint, hint, game. Been having some fun chasing trophies over on the float fishing account. Got a pretty decent white bream. Somewhat out of the blue. I was going white bream fishing, but did not expect to get a trophy white bream. So if you are interested in that, there is a link to the playlist down in the description. We're probably getting pretty close to the time that our reel that's over in the workshop will be ready. I don't know if you can see that on the inventory page or not. I know you used to be able to, but it also used to be where if you logged out, time still advanced. Now it just shows locked. Oh no, I can hover over it. So 2 hours in game left. Let's go back to the good old Aquila 4G004. That's a good fish. It's actually pulling drag. And I've got my friction brake pretty high up on this thing. It's probably pulling with a force of about 3 kilograms. That doesn't mean the fish is 3 kilograms. Just like in real life, you can push more. The fish can pull more than it actually weighs. But that is a good chub. 1.7 kilogram chub. Catch a fish weighing at least 1.5 kilograms using a feeder rod. So 400 XP there. We're up to 3.2 on the bottom rod. So if you think about it, just like in real life, you may weigh 100 pounds or 100 kilos, but you can carry 150, you can carry another 50 pounds, just like the fish can pull. It was a 1.7 or about a 1.7 kilo fish there, and it was probably pulling about 3 kilograms of force. I've got a very athletic dog that's about a 70-pound dog, and he can easily pull 150 pounds if he wants to. And he's a bit of a youngin', so he gets excited easily and likes to pull. Actually tweaked my back a little bit on Saturday, one day this weekend. There was another dog that came up to us and growled at us, and he wanted to defend me and took a running leap at the dog that was unrestrained as well. My dog was on a leash. We were going for a WALK, and I don't want to say it because he. I looked over and his eyes were open, but um, he's a good boy. Had him about 6 months, a little over 6 months at this point, and he's about 16 months old. It has been slow today. I mean, 28 fish in under 24 hours with, 1.5 rods being active. Let's go. I don't think I've cast this yet today. And I didn't actually put it on. And looking at what we've caught, I'm going to say 30 to 40 silver, not including whatever we get from the cafe. Getting those 2 rough will be worth it. I think it was a pretty decent order. They're usually about a 20 order. Sorry, I'm noticing my mic seems to be cutting out a little bit. At least looking at OBS, it looked like it was. Had an issue yesterday where we lost power in the middle of my float fishing recording and internet dropped. I've got a bit of a battery backup on my recordings, but if the internet drops, the internet drops. There's nothing I can do about that. It actually ended up freezing up my whole computer. Had to force reboot and was afraid I had lost everything because that included the trophy white bream. But luckily that was on the recording. Decent little chub. This rod ready for pickup yet? Yep. Or reel ready for pickup. I may go pick that up, cast it out once or twice just to use it. Another marker chub. So now let's go see what we've got. Pick up our free reel that got repaired and cast that a couple times up by the cafe. Think that'll be worth it. We're about 55 minutes into it, so a couple casts up there will get us to the full hour. But 30 fish down there, I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. I'll take a look at what we got when we get up to the fish market and take a guess on silver. Kind of a game I like doing in my head. Usually I'm not calculating it at all. I'm just looking at the fish and going off of experience. So looking at weight, I'm going to guess with these 30 fish, 45 silver. 54. Nice. And we're going to sell the two small rough for 13. And they are definitely not worth 13 by themselves. They're worth 0.6 by themselves and 13 and a half here to the cafe. So I will definitely take that. Looking through the rest of this, 550 gram perch. We also got that. There's 10. And they are worth 0.2. And we're going to sell them for 10. So there's 23 and a half silver more than that 54. So we had about 3 when we started there. And there's still 54 silver uh, in our catch net there. So I'll take that. So we'll go over to the workbench. We've had a successful repair on our reel. I don't think you can fail that, but you never know. So we'll take out the free rod that we got. We will put the free reel on it. And let's go. We've got plenty of silver coming our way. Grabbed my free food while I was walking by there. Let's go get another fluorocarbon 3.2. I'd like a. So there's not a 5 liter here. Would really like that 5.4. I don't know if it's available over at Mosquito. So let's go ahead and take the 3.2 off of that, off of the rod we have been using. Put it on this rod. So we do have our weakest point here is the leader. Something to just kind of keep in mind there. And then let's cast our rod into the cafe because I'm an idiot. Go ahead and take lure off. Even though it wasn't the one I wanted to use anyway. We'll put the spiker on here. Go ahead and cast our bottom rod out. Same setup we've been using. I don't expect it to actually hit anything there, but worth a try. So this rod is a bit of a stronger rod. It does have stronger line on it. It's got a stronger reel on it, but the same size leader. It's actually the exact same leader we've been using on the other rod. And it looks like we may be glad we got a bigger reel on it. Turned out to be not as big as I thought. But that's probably about a kilogram, and I'm not having to fight it. Yeah, 1.25, 1.27 really, and I didn't have to struggle with it, where with this rod and reel, I might have. And it's 3.2 versus 3.4, 3.6, so it's not significantly heavier. It's about 10% more powerful. But this rod and reel, and this is what I got again when I hit level 11 for free, and then spent about 20 silver to upgrade the friction brake. This combo will do pretty well at Belaya. Cast out a couple more times and grab a last minute fish. Ooh, that's a decent asp. No, pike. Nice. Last minute pike there. So there's another probably 5 or 6 silver. So we're probably up to about 60 silver in our catch net. And decent fish here. I'm not reeling at all. It's swimming away from me, so I just kind of want it to do its thing. If you reel when it's swimming away from you, and it's stronger than your friction brake like this one is, usually you actually let out more line doing that and put more wear and tear on your equipment. And we got it. Nice asp. 1.36 kilogram asp, 1,000 experience points. Definitely was pulling pretty good too. And another one. Almost as soon as it hit the water. Another asp. Maximum total weight of fish caught in a day. This one just short of 1,000 XP. We're over halfway to 12. We're actually over an hour, but I'll cast it. This one time will be our last one for the day. Catching those two asp at the end there got me excited, but got another one here. It's a small fish. Looks like a perch. Yep. Maximum number of fish caught in a day, too. I will take it. We'll go grab our bottom rod, reel it in. it gives you 6 drinks of tea. And I was on mute, and I don't know for how long. So we did get 71 silver. I did go buy tea equipment, and you buy the tea kettle for 20. You buy a book of matches, which gives you 50 matches, and 1 log of firewood. Each day that you light a fire, you need a log of firewood to do so. And then I also bought 10 tea bags, which will give us 60 tea if we're all successful. So we'll brew most of that off camera just because the noise is very annoying. I'll probably do a quick clip of it later just so you can see it, but save your ears from me just clicking a button, waiting a few seconds every time. So definitely a good day. 90 silver on the day. So appreciate everyone watching, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Have a good one.